Hey, welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about obsessive thoughts. So you're trying to manifest something in particular and you are having obsessive thoughts about it. I don't necessarily mean, I'm not talking about sort of clinical OCD here. I am talking about overthinking something, maybe over manifesting, getting stuck in that cycle of engaging with the different thoughts that you're having and not sort of knowing how to take yourself away from the situation, take yourself and make yourself an outsider of your own situation in order to stop that obsessive overthinking and watering those thoughts that are not benefiting you. Mind you, saying that, not benefiting you, you can be just overthinking and not have it be negative, but you're still stuck in this cycle of thinking and having conversations in your head about this situation. Maybe it's a person, having conversations in your head with them, what you'd like to happen, seeing scenes all of the time, visualizing, getting stuck in the visualizing cycle, not seeing any movement because your feelings aren't matching with what you want, but you are obsessively not leaving this situation alone. So if we think that this has anything to do with quantum, or this is quantum, if you observe a situation, you keep observing it, you are holding it as it is because you are observing what is now. And by obsessively thinking about stuff, overthinking, let's just call it overthinking actually, by overthinking a certain situation, I'm putting in too much effort to manifest, maybe over affirming, any of that stuff classes as overthinking. Even just thinking about it and having conversations in your head with a particular person in order to see that conversation in real life, that is overdoing it, and that is caught in this cycle. You're caught on this merry-go-round of overthinking, and it does become a bit, I tell you what it becomes habitual, and you feel as if you have to do it. If you don't do it, then the universe will think that you don't actually want this anymore because you've got so used to it. It takes 21 days to form a habit, so it's quite easily done, isn't it? You know, if you do this over that period, then you have formed a habit, and it's a habit, you know, it takes probably the equal amount of time, which isn't that long, to break a habit. So I'm just going to give you some tips on how you can do that and sort of start yourself again, get back to factory settings, get back to a clean slate, or at least enough that you can start from that point, or you can start getting into a different mindset, because that's what I am at the end of the day. I'm a mindset coach more than anything else. So the first thing is, you are going to have thoughts popping into your head all of the time about all kinds of things, but particularly something that you want to bring into your life. It's natural, that is going to happen, and you do not have to force them out. That is the key thing. Don't try and force it out, because if you try and force it out, it will push back, and it will push back with a vengeance. Believe me, I've tried that, it doesn't work. So what we need to do is not engage with those thoughts. And when I say don't engage with them, I mean, don't start having a conversation with yourself, or having a conversation with that person or somebody who's involved in this manifestation in your head, or thinking about what happened in the past, or thinking about what could happen in the future. Any of this is engagement, or what is happening now. That is classed as engagement, and that is like putting water on the plant, and it needs the water in order to grow. So if you don't give it the water, it can't grow, it will die. It will, and it will wither, basically. That's what will happen if you don't water it. So what you do is, that thought will come in and there's nothing you can do about that. The first thing you say to yourself is, that thought is there, there's nothing I can do about that, it's there. I don't have control over what pops into my head. That is pretty random. I mean, we probably do to a certain extent, but we don't want to go down that route. We don't want to make this overly complicated. It's there, okay, what am I going to do about that? Nothing. I'm just going to let it be there. It is there, but if I don't water it and I don't engage with it, then it cannot grow, and it will just leave me. And yes, sure, it will come back later on, and I will do the same. I will just not engage with it. So let's say you're sat quietly and you find it quite difficult not to engage because there's nothing else that you're doing to take your attention away. Start thinking about something else, just anything else. Put the TV on. Get your favourite book out, just do something that takes your attention away. Sure, that thought is still going to be bubbling there, and there's still going to be a bit of a vibration of it in there, but you are not going to be entertaining it. It's like a friend that you don't want in your life anymore. You don't want to encourage them. So if you don't encourage them, eventually they get the idea and off they go on their merry way. And we've noticed that friendships come and go in life, don't we? When we don't want them anymore, they naturally just drift away if we allow them to. And that's what's going to happen here. That thought is going to be dampened down, because it's going to, your brain is going to think, hang on a minute, nothing's happening here. I'm not getting any engagement here, no encouragement. Oh, stuff this. And it's just going to wane. So that's the main thing. That's the first thing, that you make a decision to do that. You make a decision today, okay, I'm not going to water those thoughts. Just knowing that if you do, they are going to grow, because that's the way that life works. You water a thought, you engage with it, it grows and grows and grows. Now, what happens when that thought grows is that vibration grows and grows and grows. And it could be a vibration of, well, I don't have it yet, it's not here, I really want it. And you might be having a nice visualization, but underlying is this feeling, but I don't have that, I don't have that. So whatever that is, imagine if it's negative. Imagine if it is, oh my God, they did this or they did that, if we're talking about a person. Imagine how that's going to grow and grow and grow and be that vibration and be inside of you. It's inside of you, showing to you on the outside. So once you're aware of that, it does become a little bit easier. You can use a switch word. So a switch word does two things. Before you use the switch word, you instruct your subconscious, when I say this word, you are going to drop all attachment and you are going to drop all negative feeling around this subject. So it does that. So you've instructed your subconscious first, and it also distracts. It's an immediate mind distraction. So you're immediately breaking that connection. Awesome. Any word, absolutely any word. It doesn't have to be a word. It can be a phrase, anything that works for you. A word that's comforting to you. Not if it's we're talking about a specific person here. Don't use that as your switch word, because it's the worst thing you could do, because you have attached to that is the vibration of I don't have that. So don't do that. Just a nice comforting word. When I did it, and I did it over a long period of time, I used the word Jessica, because I love old reruns of Murder, She Wrote. So I use it. I always, when I'm ill, I always look for an old rerun of that, because Jessica Fletcher just is very comforting. Her character is a bit like when I was way, way younger, and I used to find the same with Henrietta Hedgehog. I used to have a book and it was Henrietta Hedgehog, and I used to find her this hedgehog, really, really comforting. So, but this time it was Jessica. It works wonders. Honestly, it really does. You've got to stick with it, and you've got to see it as another tool in your toolbox with changing your mindset around a certain thing. And you can literally do this with anything, any manifestation or anything that you want in life, or anything that you're just overthinking, even if it's just a situation that you're overthinking, you're not trying to manifest from it. To break that, the switch word is awesome. So that's your two things there, your key things. And your key thing really is not engaging, and also taking a step back, having a break from everything that you've been doing, and say, I am going to give myself some time off here. Give myself some time off of this. I'm just going to go about normal life and be normal and do normal things, and not think about manifestation, not think about the law of attraction. Just get on with normal life. All of that stuff will really help. But the key thing with the obsessively overthinking, sometimes it's not even a fear of not being able to manifest it if you don't do it. Sometimes it's just that you can't help it. You go down that rabbit hole and you're lost in it, and you've been thinking about it for half an hour or so. So firstly, notice it. Notice it. So say to yourself, I am going to notice every time I get sort of stuck in a thought loop, I'm going to notice it, and it's going to stop me, and then I'm going to stop engaging. And if I feel it is really bugging me and it's difficult to stop engaging, I'm going to use my switch word. They are just a couple of really awesome techniques. Yes, they are techniques, but they're not techniques to manifest. They're techniques to get you in a better mindset, to get you on a more calm, level footing, so that you can manifest from that point. Or even if you're not into manifesting and you're into the law of attraction, to get you into a better mindset, and you will feel calmer, you will feel better, you will be more able to go with the flow, and you will just find that you'll feel in control of your thoughts rather than letting your thoughts control you. Because at the moment, that's probably what's happening. You are becoming a victim to your thoughts, and then a victim to your feelings, and you're definitely a victim to your feelings when you become a victim to your thoughts, because your feelings are what manifest. So you end up manifesting either the opposite of what you want, or even just a little bit of what you want, and never really what you want, because you're completely out of whack with it, because you've put this thing, you've made this thing such a priority in your life that you are forgetting about all the other wonderful things in life. So all of that stuff has a lesser significance when it shouldn't, because there's probably some amazing things in your life, but you're allowing them to have lesser significance because you really, really, really want this. So, it's noticing it, not engaging, distract. It's so simple, and I don't mean this flippantly, like, oh yeah, she says it's so simple. Well, it might be simple for her, but it's not simple for me. The simple part, it is simple to do it. The toughest thing is making a decision to do it. It's making that decision today that I am going to do this, because actually when I get stuck in this loop, I feel a bit rubbish, and I don't want to feel rubbish anymore, and I want to feel free. This will really help you to feel free and to feel, and what will happen is, this is what will happen. You will notice that you go much longer periods of time without thinking about it when you do this. And then you'll think, oh wow, I've gone I went a whole hour and I didn't even have it. It didn't exist for me. And when things don't exist for you in the moment, that's when they slip in there. That manifestation slips in when it doesn't exist for you, because you have a massive gaping hole in there, ready for it to just slot in there. Okay, whoa, the door's open, in we come. And that's what happens. Honestly. But like I said, it's not just a manifesting skill. This is a skill to take forward in life and really just use it as part of your everyday life. Then that will stop you obsessively thinking about anything. I used to not obsessively think about stuff in order to manifest it, but habitually think about stuff, overthink stuff, but with no aim to any sort of solution. Just go over and over and over it, and never really think about what I should have done, more just go over what I had done and then feel, oh, I shouldn't have done that. That's what I used to do, and that's what I wanted to stop, and I have successfully stopped that. I never do that anymore. I don't think I've done that for like 4 years now. I've really successfully changed that, and as I changed that about myself, it meant that when I did want to manifest something and bring something into my life, I didn't have that going on. So it was so much easier, because there was no way that I was ever going to go back to that, because I'd stopped it. I'd broken the circuit, and that's what you want to do. Break the circuit of that habitual behaviour. And you can do that, like I said, 21 days. If you religiously stick at this for 21 days, you'll find at that 21-day point, you will feel a little bit better. And maybe it's just a little bit, but that is not, the thing then is not to think, I only just feel a little bit better, it wasn't worth it. It's to think, wow, I feel a little bit better. Your perspective needs to be on the positive. I feel a little bit better. I feel better than I did 3 weeks ago. I'm handling this better. If I carry on with this, how am I going to feel in another 3 weeks? Even awesomer. It's not a word, is it? Even more, even better. Even if I just feel this bit better again, then that's double what I feel now. So that's doubly better. So that's got to be a good thing, hasn't it? That's my tips too. I hope that's really useful. It's stuff, everything I talk about is stuff that I've done, stuff that I've used in order to make my life easier. And that's what it's about. If we can make our lives just a little bit easier, then why not? So I will never, ever, ever talk about something that I haven't done, because I don't think that's fair to you, and it's not authentic, and it's no point in me teaching you to do something when I haven't done it and haven't seen results myself, because how can I feel good about doing that? I can't. So believe me that everything I talk about, it's what I've done and it's worked for me. So there you go. I'm an author. All of my books are listed below. That's probably how I describe myself, really, as an author. But I'm also a coach, so a mindset coach, and I say manifestation coach, because if you're stuck and you're not being able to move forward, I can generally pinpoint that down to something that's going on inside of you and why that's not happening. So to help me move forward with that, you just need to go to my website and send me a message and ask me what my availability is. Please do tell me where you are, what country do you live in, so that I know what time zone we're working with roughly, as I can give you a really suitable time for you. I don't coach on a Friday, and I rarely do it at weekends. If you're really, really desperate and you have no time in the week and you can't do an evening, then I might be able to come up with something, but I steer clear of that really if I can. But don't feel like you can't ask the question. But I will, on the odd occasion, if your time zone is way out there, or if you work full time and the time zone is a bit iffy, then I will look at doing an evening for you, as long as it's not too late. I will maybe start a session at 7 o'clock UK time. That's probably the latest that I'll go, because I think anything after that, I'm not on point. I'm not really as on point as I should be after that. If I was to see you at 8, 9 o'clock, especially 9 o'clock, I wouldn't feel that you were getting value for money then, because I wouldn't be as with it as I am before that. So because I'm really starting to wind down then. So, but ask the question, whatever. Okay, that's it I think. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do that, and if not, I just hope that you've got something from this.